Hey guys, it's Drexel back with Black Hollywood Lies Political Culture. On today's show, we are talking, is Hillary Clinton really avoiding the press? Danielle and Kelvin Truitt are in the house to talk about what's cooking in the Truitt household. And we are talking about the candidates all on their tax reform plan. So stay tuned.
You're tuned into Black Hollywood Live Political Culture.
Hey guys, it is Drexel here with Black Hollywood Live's Political Culture. I don't know if you can hear me because I can't hear myself. I can't. I'm having trouble hearing myself.
I can hear you very
You can hear me?
well.
Okay,
Yeah, I
good.
hear you fine.
Welcome to the show. It is my first day back in a week. I feel like I've been gone for a very long time. But you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Drexel Heard. And I always forget to plug my Facebook because I have a Facebook page, not my personal one, but my official one, official Drexel Heard or Drexel Heard Official. You can just find me. Find me on there.
You're so excited to be back. Hey guys, it's your host Elayna here. You can follow me on all social media platforms at hey_it's_lay.
And our guests, I'm going to say guest panelists today because they
Yes.
are up here at the table with beautiful actress and activist Danielle Truitt and her husband,
Hello.
activist Kelvin Truitt at the end of the table. Welcome.
right.
You can follow them both at Truitt Can Do It. That's Danielle's Twitter, Instagram and Twitter handle. And Kelvin's is _that dude, Kelvin, because he is
That
dude. We started the time.
Thank you guys for joining us today.
Thank you.
Welcome.
having us.
We started at the top of the show with a little Britney Spears Make Me because I'm going to be in Vegas this weekend because I'm going to see Britney Spears. And B, today they just announced that
They just
Britney
announced that she'll be performing at the
the
VMAs
VMAs.
for the first time in like 9 years, maybe.
I didn't even know the VMAs were still going on, but
Wow.
that's just me.
Are you kidding?
I'm still wrapped up in the election. I can't be worried about no VMAs. Okay?
Come on, we need
I'm trying to keep Trump from getting elected, and y'all worried about Britney
Okay,
Spears.
we need, but who's going to see Britney in Vegas?
But see, I'm going. Okay.
Okay.
So, you know what?
I'll be
You're
watching
welcome.
her on the VMAs
Okay,
from
right.
my couch.
I'll be right with you, girl. Hey, Britney.
So we're gonna kick off the show with just a few things that happened last week. I know I was gone last week. I needed like a mental political break. Like sometimes you just this
a lot.
primary was very long, and you just need that mental break. Then you got Facebook. I try not to post as much on Facebook. Y'all know I love me some Facebook.
No, you were
Y'all
still
just-
like every hour update. I was like,
Every hour
oh,
update. I don't know who's just
what a
talking
great
about.
break.
Oh my gosh. So let's run through some poll numbers right now. Clinton is up 6 to 9 points general election wise across the board. But there are some really, and then key battleground states, Virginia, New York, she's up like 30 points, which is crazy. I was watching something on CNN the other day where somebody said, it was one of the campaign, I don't think it was Paul Manafort, but it was somebody that said, yeah, I think Donald Trump's still competitive in New York.
Oh, come on.
Right.
I
30
mean,
points.
30 points is 30 points. I don't think you can come down from that. And there's about 83 days left to the election, so hopefully you guys are all registered to vote. So make sure you guys
It's
are out there registered to
coming
vote. It's
so
coming.
fast. And make
Do you-
sure that you guys have your IDs for the voter registration, to all of that. Like, I know we talk about it, but I feel like every time we have the show, I need to plug that so that no one's getting turned away.
Right. The other thing is not only is Clinton leading Trump by 6 to 9 points, but in the four-way race between Gary Johnson and Jill Stein as well added in there, she is also still leading up 4 points. I think Gary Johnson and Jill Stein are actually taking support away from Donald Trump more than they are from Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Even though you'd think that
Right.
that Jill Stein would be taking a lot of points from Hillary Clinton. However, the most surprising poll that I saw today in a four-way race is Trump +6 on Clinton in Texas.
That was interesting, actually.
That's like next to nothing.
Yeah.
That's like Clinton could flip Texas if she wanted to,
Right.
if she went down there and
Yeah, you would
just
seem like it would be more support.
more like 15
Right.
in
Right.
Texas. If this is any other Republican candidate,
I would have thought of maybe
Right.
20, like at least.
if this was any
Yeah.
other
So
Republican
yeah, that
candidate,
really,
absolutely.
that really shows how much people are not supporting his.
Well, I'm happy that
craziness.
these poll numbers are revealing what they are revealing, because
too.
we were scared for a bit. Like, I mean, it was just it's just so real that there was some kind of fear, like, oh my gosh, this is the real Republican candidate. So I'm happy that these poll numbers are revealing what it's revealing.
Well, I wasn't scared.
Right.
Me neither.
I wasn't scared. I
not
knew.
for a minute.
I knew. I said, listen, America's not stupid. There
Yeah,
might be
we
some,
could be crazy,
There
but
might,
we
could
ain't
be crazy.
stupid.
We ain't stupid, right? That's what your daddy say. You might be crazy, but
I
you
ain't
ain't stupid. So do you guys follow poll numbers? Are you guys like, do poll numbers have an effect on the way that you think about a candidate or how you vote for a candidate? Does that sway
No.
you guys in any way?
It doesn't sway me at all. Like I'm pretty. Once I feel like I'm behind a certain candidate or behind a certain thing, then it would literally take. It would just take like hard evidence or something they said or something that I found out that was contrary to what they were saying they were about to sway my vote. The numbers of people voting for them doesn't sway my vote.
Now, did you guys have the Democratic primary is over, obviously, but were you guys like, did you guys have a preference this election? Any across the board, it could be in the Republican side.
Bernie was. I was a Bernie.
Yeah, we were definitely rooting for Bernie. But
Yeah, we were.
I didn't know. A little
Drexel with the
concerned that he
awkward
wasn't
laugh.
gonna make it.
Right.
Drexel with the awkward laugh because he's
Kelvin?
such a Hillary fan.
I know. Kelvin was like, he's kind of
He
old.
looking kind of old. And the presidents these days are doing 2 terms for sure. So I just we're gonna pray for Bernie that he make it.
Right. So in terms of like Bernie versus Hillary now, in terms of how we're moving into this general election, are there areas where you guys feel that Bernie had a better grasp on things than Hillary Clinton, that Hillary Clinton can now push forward or work on in the general election for you guys?
Yeah, I think the general feel for the millennials, Bernie Sanders had a better grip on them. He's kind of
It's funny because he's the old guy.
he feels like your cool old uncle. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I think that he was able to grab that younger demographic of people to get them out to vote, gave them a cause that they felt like they can be connected to. With Hillary, I don't think that they are going to show up for her like they would have for him. I hope that people still get out there and vote, but I think Bernie Sanders was making a lot of traction.
Yeah, I
with
think
the
he
younger
appealed
millennials.
a little bit more to the regular man, like to the normal American, like, or as far as the Democrats are concerned, like for me personally, he cared about things that I cared about. I felt like he was just a little bit more just down to earth, like I can't really describe it. Like people call somebody a man's man, like they're just
Right.
somebody that's
Like Joe Biden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Joe
I
Biden's a
love
guy's
Joe.
guy.
I
Yeah.
love Joe Biden.
And
Yeah,
Barack Obama, for the most part, I always thought that Joe Biden was a little bit more connected to the people than Barack Obama was, and that Barack Obama just understood
Right.
things in a broader perspective. I mean, obviously he's an elite. Barack Obama, for everything that's
I think
worth,
that
is
he's
an
the
elitist.
yeah,
You know, he
that's
is
true.
he
Yeah.
is the male black version of Hillary Clinton.
That's
you know,
true.
and
I can
so.
see that.
I mean, to the point in terms of policy, in terms of the way that they think, in terms of I don't want to. We live in. We just watched the Olympics, and there was a lot of misogyny happening at the Olympics
Right.
over the
Yes.
past 3 weeks, and I think a lot of that seeps into the way that we view female candidates
I agree
too.
with that.
So what we might look at, and I say, oh well, Barack Obama is this male. Like whether we look at Hillary Clinton, you go, but how is that possible? And it's possible because if you've watched the way that they have governed themselves and the way the things that they've done.
Yes. Yes, the misogynistic vibe of our entire world, like this is a problem in the entire world, so I do think that's something that kind of skews people's, view of her maybe, but I personally, it is taking me a long time to trust her, honestly, and to see her as like completely genuine. Like,
Right.
not that she's a bad person,
Right.
but I didn't necessarily feel like, I felt like she jumped on the whole, trying to get the black vote type. I know they have to do that. It's politics, but it just didn't feel, even if you're doing it, like make it feel authentic.
right.
I can agree with the whole misogynistic mindset that a lot of people have, but I don't necessarily if I can agree with the fact that Barack Obama is like the female Hillary, and not because they have complete opposite views on how they want to run the country or whatever, but I do, just as much as Joe Biden is kind of that man's man, I do agree that Obama is that man's man too. Like there's some kind of warmth that he brings
yes, for
that
sure.
Hillary doesn't necessarily bring to some of us, maybe to her hard down supporters, but I don't get that same warmth and comfort when I'm listening to her speak or when I'm watching her, so so that's the only way that I would disagree as far as that being a version. So I wasn't having like a oh no, that he can't be the female version of Hillary because she's a woman. It was more so just that warmth that I feel from the two of them.
I see the comparisons you're talking
Right.
about, but yeah, and then it is harder for women. It's It's
I don't
just
speak
hard.
from
It's just
experience.
harder
I
for
don't nod my
women.
head and from experience. I'm just nodding like I'm in agreement.
It is like a woman who asserts herself, a woman who is confident, a woman who knows her stuff. And Michelle Obama is that for sure, but she is Barack Obama's wife. She is FLOTUS. She is not the president of the United States. So
FLOTUS.
Floated.
and she is fly. Like I want it. I'm like, Michelle, why can't you run?
You know, there was
I would
rumors
vote
out
for
there
her
that
for-
there's
and I
rumors out that the
know. Oh, my
Republicans are
God.
getting a little scared that
I
she
would
might
vote
run
for
in
her now.
Illinois.
Please, I would vote for her in
I
a
would
minute.
love that. My heart was so broken when she came out and was like, "I'm not running for president, guys." I was like, "Come on, come on, Michelle."
I don't think that she would. I just don't.
Their family is tired.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're tired. But that goes. Well, let's just move on into this idea. You guys, obviously, there's a lot of people who felt very detached from Hillary Clinton. Millennials, like, from what you said, and I'm just gonna nitpick what you said because you're like, oh, the feel of Bernie Sanders made millennials come there. Policy-wise, however, it's a very different story. You can talk all you want to, but policies were never there for that. And on the same side with Hillary Clinton, for the most part, Hillary's not running for president of the millennials, and I don't think any candidate's going to be running for president of the generation that's upcoming. It's going to be, I've got to worry about this generation,
Right.
and then what's happening across the globe.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Hillary Clinton, Politico ran an article, and I read Politico every night before I go to bed, but Politico ran an article that said Hillary Clinton finds another way to avoid the press. Now, on the show that I do after this show, Trump versus Hillary, the conservative on the panel always talks about how Hillary Clinton doesn't do press conferences. She just doesn't. Do you guys feel, just in any politician, do you guys feel that they should have to do press in a way that it's one-on-one with in a press pool all the time? How often do you guys think that candidates have to do that?
I think it should be up to their discretion. One of the things I've never seen in my life was a lot of the disrespect that President Obama had to face in those open forums, and I've always felt like he didn't have to be there. People, just having their rants and talking out of turn and things like that. As the President of the United States, you should definitely have discretion on what you want to do. And those media outlets, you don't need them. While you're campaigning, you do. But when you're the president, I don't think you need them. So I believe it should be up to the person.
Even with Hillary running now, I don't think that she needs to do all of them all the time, but I do think that she still needs to do some of them. And I say that because although the media can be very harsh and very hypocritical and just overall mean, I still think that it's really good for the people who were not Team Hillary to see how she acts under that pressure, to see how she communicates herself and just the way that the way that she handles certain things. So when you're out of the press, it's almost like, okay, we don't get to see you in those situations.
So then my question would be, do you guys feel like the president, or just the president of the United States? So, president's there to govern, not to deal with the press. The press is there to do their investigative journalism.
Right.
So, if the press's job is to investigate, the president or any person, and I say that celebrity, anybody, shouldn't have to be out there to. That's what you have a publicist for.
Right.
That's what you have a press secretary for.
And they don't have to be.
They don't have to be there.
Right. Well, I think, but the fact that Obama did do some, I think, is
President Obama didn't really do that many when he was running.
Right. No. Okay.
Now,
sorry. I thought you were
in the
talking
office.
about. I thought you were talking about in office.
Yeah.
Yes. Before you're running, I think. I mean, I don't think you should do them all.
Right.
I think you should choose and be very strategic about the ones that you do.
Right.
But you should do some because you do. I mean, that's the world we live in. Media it's everything. We want to see the person. We want to know what the person thinks about certain things. We want to hear
Well, in
what they have
general,
to say.
I feel like we know what the press and what the media thinks. They want to ask about
Right.
the scandal. They want to
and
ask
that's
about
the
the
thing.
dirt.
Definitely.
And so
Yeah.
it could be a bit unfair. So for Hillary,
think
everybody
she needs to do them
everybody
all.
got questions. So
Absolutely.
I think
And I
it's
think they're gonna-
smart for her to avoid this
Yeah.
stuff.
They're going to be doing. I saw a poll that said 60 to 80%. I can't remember the number. A majority of Americans don't care about a press conference. They
Right.
just don't care.
They're not paying attention.
They're not. I think that the Clinton campaign has the Obama campaign had a really great ground game, and I think that's what the Clinton campaign is focused on. These town halls in cities, these speeches with Joe Biden, these Tim Kaine. I mean, they were in Scranton this week, and they kind of do that thing. But on the other side of that, I think we saw what happened to the 16 or 15 other Republicans that Trump had to deal with. You're talking about 15 people who at every time they came out would have to answer a question about what Donald Trump said about them, not about what their policy was.
Right.
And so I think that Clinton might be avoiding, this just might be just what I'm observing, is that Clinton might be avoiding the press because they're not going to ask her about the things that matter. I know Bernie Sanders talked about that.
Makes sense,
Bernie Sanders talked about that a lot. Like, you're asking me what Hillary Clinton said about me, not about the policy.
Right, and I don't want
that.
to talk about Hillary Clinton. Right.
And Clinton doesn't want to talk about her emails.
Right.
And somebody else doesn't want to talk about Donald Trump.
Right.
And I think everyone
Trump
knows
wants
that
to talk
going
about
into
everybody
it.
but
But
himself because he
yes.
doesn't have anything
A
to
lot
say.
of a lot of that I feel like is because Trump is in the race. Because he has made it about everyone else, like this bicker battle. So the media is feeding off of that. Like, that's what they're living off of. So now when they address Hillary, they're expecting her to throw the same shots. And I can agree with you on that.
Yeah.
We don't want to hear about the scandals. I'm not interested. We heard about it. Okay, yeah, I might have got, the tea for a little bit. But what are you going to do? Like, I need to hear your opinions and your perspectives on the world.
In the global view, that's what makes America look bad, is that we have these celebrity reality show type antics going on in the White House. Like, why is...
Well, not in this White House.
Why,
not in the current one.
Not in the current one. Not in the current one. However...
Except for Lollapalooza.
I've never seen, like, politicians be on TMZ so much. You know, like, this is like social gossip that's happening.
Could you imagine, though, if there was a TMZ specifically for politics?
Oh, my.
Could you imagine the scandals?
That'd be juicy. There's scandal.
CNN.
But we know what I was gonna say. With us talking about the media, you asked the question and you said, "Do we pay attention to polls?"
Right.
And for me, I don't necessarily pay attention to polls because I feel like I just don't know how.
Them, really.
Yeah, I don't know how real it is. I don't know if the media is actually. Sometimes they manipulate numbers, and it's always some kind of scandal in a sense. So I don't really put my trust into the polls. I kind of have to just rely on my resources and where I feel like, okay, this is giving me a good unbiased presentation of the candidate.
Yeah, I'm a town hall meeting girl. I'm a nice speech, go talk to the kids somewhere, be in the community. Like, that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
I'm not as a Christian, I'm not even so much on like, oh, this candidate went to this church, because I feel like that is like
the ultimate pandering.
It is. Right. Yeah, it really is.
Get
but
some
like,
emotional people to vote.
Yeah, but like, seeing them out in the community, like, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I fell in love with, Obama. You know what I mean? With President Obama, is he just, to me, he was just like a hands-on, even when he got in office, like he was just a hands-on person. So for Hillary, I don't know. I want to see, and it might just be because I'm a woman and I'm like, I want to see her be
more hands-on
out there.
More hands-on, more gritty, like in with the people.
That's another way that they can do it, though. Like, it doesn't have to be press conferences. Mm-hmm. Like, if Hillary chooses to avoid press conferences because they keep bringing up the same stuff, that's absolutely fine, because that's all I know her for. I know her for the scandals because that's all that's being publicized. But if I saw, not discrediting what she's already done or what she is doing, but if I saw more of it, if I saw more of her team putting out these speeches or putting out, like,
they do.
So if I saw more of it, then I would feel more like, I feel like the timing when they come out is always like not at the popular times, not at the time where it's like they don't come out to in a battle with the scandals that are being reported on. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, they come out in very quiet times. I'm like, oh, that's cute. But when it's time for a press conference, I hear nothing from you. So in that time, it's like, I would prefer to see. And I'm not talking about that. This is not my focus. This is what I'm focused on. Like just that express more strongly, if that makes sense.
The campaign this week released a podcast called it's on iTunes, iTunes.com/I'mWithHer. And I actually listened to it the other day on a drive out to Hollywood, and it's pretty good. And I think that's another thing that came from the article, is like, the campaign can release some podcasts, but she doesn't want to do a press conference. And I'm like, the campaign can control the narrative. That is their job.
Yeah,
The job of a campaign is to A, protect their candidate, and to B, control the narrative of their candidate. Yeah. And it's the same thing for anybody that's in a business, in a movie, in a TV show, in any public here at Black Hollywood Live, here at AfterBuzz. If you don't think they're controlling the narrative of what goes out there, you are mistaken.
Right.
Because you have to protect your product.
Yeah.
And somebody said.
So she broke Flint.
She broke Flint.
I was trying.
What?
I don't know what that means, Nicole. You might have to explain that because I just need to know. So check that podcast out if you really want to know about more about any candidate: Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, Jill Stein. Always go to their websites. I'm going to talk about their tax plans here in a second, but you want to know more about the candidate? You do the research about the candidate. Don't let the media decide or dictate what information you have about a candidate.
Definitely.
And we try to talk, every week we're going to go into this new thing. We're going to talk about just a policy point from all the candidates. So hopefully you guys learn a little bit about where our candidates stand on a couple of things. So taxes, we all pay a lot of taxes.
Right.
So there's always a really interesting way that we look at taxes. We look at taxes as a negative thing, but forget the positive effects of that taxes have on families, in terms of programs, in terms of healthcare, in terms of what pays for railways here. I was just talking to a friend of mine over in the West Hollywood Council, and they're trying to get support for the Crenshaw line, to extension of the Crenshaw line from Crenshaw to LAX that not only connects to here, to the San Fernando Valley, to Hollywood, which also connects to Santa Monica, but that comes from taxes.
Yeah.
That comes from state taxes here. I was looking at my paycheck the other day and I was like, I'm in that tax bracket, that kind of 25% tax bracket or whatever, I guess is that middle range, whatever. But the top tier tax bracket right now is 39.6%. So I'm just going to run through these real quick because Hillary Clinton, so Clinton Kane, HillaryClinton.com, you can find that tax plan. There's just a few points here that I want to talk about. So the Clinton plan is not planning on raising taxes, even though people will say they will, on the middle class. However, the Clinton plan their plan is to keep the tax rate the same for the middle class and lower tiers. However, her plan is to raise taxes on the top 1%, the multimillionaires and the billionaires, close the corporate and Wall Street tax loopholes and invest in America, simplify I'm literally reading from the website because I don't want it to be like
HillaryClinton.com.
HillaryClinton.com because I don't want it to be like, hey, we're making this stuff up. Simplify and cut taxes for small businesses so they can hire and grow, provide tax relief for working families from the rising costs they face, and pay for ambitious investments in a fiscally responsible way, which goes back to raising the taxes on the top 1%, which also Bernie Sanders talked about pretty much his entire campaign, but also investing that money back into states. Nicole, thank you for clarifying that. So she says that Michigan did nothing until Rachel Maddow and Hillary Clinton talked about it in Flint, which actually the Clinton campaign did spend a lot of time, more time than any other campaign, even though Bernie Sanders thought he was talking about it, he wasn't actually doing it, which is about the pinnacle of his entire career. But yeah, the Clinton team did spend a lot of time in Flint. So I'm sure that a Clinton administration will be focused on laying the groundwork for different pipes and stuff like that across the country. DonaldTrump.com, simplify taxes for everyone. His plan, it seems to be just to be a little bit simple. He wants to cut our tax rates from 7 tax codes to 3 tax codes, which, okay. 12%, 25%, 35% income tax, or 10%, 20%, 25% federal income tax. He wants to end the death tax. Hillary Clinton wants to, just back to Hillary Clinton, she wants to increase the estate tax. Limit taxation of business income to 15% for every business.
You're supposed to be giving the facts,
yes,
not judging the facts.
Reduce dramatically the income tax, like I said, 12, 25, and 35%, even though we know that the top 1% won't be paying much of anything. And then lower taxes it's very simple. Lower taxes for everyone, raising a family more affordable for working families.
So my opinion from the facts, which you can go to the websites to get your own perspective on it, and this is not anything new. We already know this, that Democratic candidates usually want to have the top 1% pay more taxes because they make the most money, and they won't really lose it. Like they might lose
They
a
won't
golf
miss
cart or a
golf
like
cart.
You know, but
Yes.
you get what I'm saying?
Half a
Like
course.
it won't be as detrimental as the middle and lower class families who are struggling, who have more children. So the Republican Party more so want the taxes to come out of those families who are already struggling. So that's what it comes down to. Again, you can go to the website to read the facts yourself and form your own opinion and perspective. But it's good that we actually give you the facts so you can digest it.
The
for yourself.
Republican stance on taxes reminds me of this. It was like a meme I saw, and it was like 3 little boys, and they were behind a fence, and they're all trying to watch a baseball game. And it was talking about the difference between fairness and justice. And it was like there was a really tall boy who could see over the fence, and then there was a middle one who could kind of see, but not really, and then there was a really small one that couldn't. And so fairness is giving them all one box to stand on. So the taller one is even taller, the middle one can see clear, and the little one still cannot see over the fence. Like the fence is still like this. Justice is not giving the tall one a box at all because he can see already. Giving the middle one box, and then giving the small one 2 boxes so that everybody can see
Clearly
so
with the same view.
Right. And so that's my problem with the Republican Party in general.
In general, not even on taxes, in general across the board. In fairness, I just want to touch on Johnson Well, johnsonwell.com, Jerry Johnson polling at like 12% right now. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing out the fact. The fact of the matter is he's polling 12%. Stop special interest loopholes, reward responsibility, and simplify our tax code. The Libertarian plan, just their policies are always catered to less limited federal government. Like they don't want the federal government to do anything. Basically, I watched a town hall on CNN the other night where Gary Johnson said he basically didn't want the president to do anything. You know, like he didn't want the role of the president to kind of dictate pretty much anything when the president is supposed to be the leader of the free world. But that's okay. Jill 2016, Jill Stein, over the weekend, April 4th, or 2 weeks ago, the Green Party had their big convention. A humane and federal budget with fair taxes, require full disclosure for corporate subsidies, strengthen rather than cut Medicare and Social Security, rewrite the entire tax code to be truly progressive with tax cut for working families. And you can find that at jill2016.com. A lot of these websites don't have very many specifics in terms of what their tax plan looks like. So you're going to have to really do a little bit of research if taxes are your thing. And you want to know how much you're going to be paying under that person administration. But, the top tier pays 39.6% right now in terms of the 1%. And under most of the plans, Hillary Clinton and Jill Stein, those will go up, and Donald Trump's and Johnson Wells will go down. So that is it for our little policy break real quick. So Danielle, Kelvin, now I've only known them for like a month. Literally, but black folks know everybody.
Right.
We know each other.
We family.
We family. We know everybody. Within the let's talk a little bit about. So a few weeks ago on this show, we had Denise Boutte. We talked a little bit about things that were happening in New Orleans, in Missouri, in New York, and just across the country. And a couple of weeks ago, I talked about on the show as well. I moderated a thing with Danielle. Danielle make more than a hashtag, really great. And we talked a little bit about something that you guys are working on, an app that came up. So let's talk about the app and where, Kelvin, you had this idea, and where they can get it.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having us, number one. And the app that we are talking about and introducing is called Unite. And the Unite app, everyone can get it by texting the word Unite to 66866. Grab your phones, type in the number 66866, and simply text the word Unite. And what Unite does is it empowers the community again. It gives the civilian control right in their smartphone, to where anyone that is facing even just a small incident or maybe a large one with law enforcement, it's there so that other civilians will be alerted and can show up to the scene of the traffic stop or the regular stop. And it's not to kind of override the police. It's basically to give accountability for all parties. So accountability for the civilians so that other people are there viewing what's taking place, and accountability for the police, who sometimes their lives are in danger by the civilian and other people can be there. So it's simply an alerting system that lets other users within a 1 to 3 mile radius know that you've been pulled over, that you in the future will have things like it's kind of more of a neighborhood watch type of deal. Like if someone's car is broken into, and you're down the street, you can send an alert. It says, hey, somebody walking down the street with a stereo right now, and it just gives the community, it really just gives people control again, and gives people the ability to kind of self-police their own neighborhoods, their
Empowering
own
our community.
Yeah, and I think people in this climate, man, people want solutions. We know what the problems are. We know. We hear the different stories each and every week. Unfortunately, it's rapid, and people want to know, what can I do? And by simply having an app on your phone that can let you know either what areas to avoid or what that someone is in need, you can go and aid in a situation. So everybody can get this app for absolutely free right now. We're building our database.
It's free 99.
Free 99, and the key word in that sentence was right now.
Right now.
Right now. It's free right now. So
Not forever.
so please text the word UNITE to 66866, and you will be on our mailing list. And immediately, when the app is ready, hot off the press, you'll receive a download. So we have to mobilize by doing this thing together. It's if we want to rebuild the fabric of our community, make our neighborhoods more safe, make our communities, more together. We have to do this together. So anybody with a phone, I believe, should have it.
If you can have Pokemon Go, you can have Unite.
That's right.
It definitely just makes us more accountable.
Yeah.
But I know that, so a lot of questions will be just, you're right. Unfortunately, there are incidents week after week. And now more than ever, we're getting a lot more video evidence and people recording on their cell phones. So is your hope that this app will encourage more of that? Or so there are some people who are already on the scenes recording. So will that just bring a bigger population, just more accountability in that aspect? Or
Yeah, we want more accountability in the aspect of recording, and the app has its own host. In most cases, the videos that are shot are held on the device of the person that's shooting it. We usually see one video.
And then,
We don't know where the rest of the videos go. Or if there's some video that I saw recently, and it conveniently started after the offense.
Yeah.
It's like, just thinking about what will happen in the car.
and in
you're
some,
right there.
some cases when the phone or the video recording is actually confiscated.
It's confiscated.
So with the app, it uploads automatically to the database of the app.
Okay.
So,
Right.
Nice.
so there's no way that they can't shut down the person's Facebook page or,
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
whatever.
there can be more camera angles. So say if you're on the scene and there is one camera, one civilian that's there, and others are alerted, now there can be 14, 15, 20 different camera
Full
angles.
view.
Right.
So it can just accountability for everybody.
And some of these incidents, there's like 1 or 2 people present or whatever. There's not 15 people
Right.
present. You know what I mean? And or they're scared as well because it's just them seeing these 2 or 3 police officers doing whatever happening. But we are more empowered. The more numbers there are, the more people are with you. You know what I mean? There's more of a voice that's there. So if 10 people, and it's not to, if something's happening a few yards away, it's not for people to run up on what's happening because
Right.
then, that would be even worse. But just so people know, like the community is aware, the community
Yes.
is coming together. And like you said, it's gonna go even further than, police involvement. It's going to be community in general. So it's like drug dealers, gang violence, like all this kind of stuff. We're able to say like, hey, this is going on. There was a lady that posted a video on Facebook, and she was in Chicago and she was on the phone with someone, and the guy was like, I gotta go, this guy is getting harassed by the police, like I gotta go see if he's okay. And so she got on Facebook and was like, hey, if you're in Chicago around like 43rd Street, like I just got off the phone with my friend who said a guy was being apprehended by the police, please go down there and see like what's going on, like make our presence known. And I'm like, oh my God, like that's what we're doing, trying to do with this app, so I think people are ready for something like that, something that empowers us as a community, because I know weeks ago, months ago, years ago, I was feeling completely helpless. Like,
Right.
what do I even do? You know.
So are you guys kind of talking to neighborhood watches? You guys going to eventually branch out to like neighborhood watches and say, hey, you know, get your communities together and you guys all should download this app because this will help you in your neighborhood watching in general.
Right.
Yes, yes, with neighborhood watches and other organizations
That'd be
such as colleges, universities, and various private schools, high school students, and everything like that, to where people are able to have kind of a localized neighborhood watch, if you will. That's mobile, that's digital. So if anything's happening on your high school campus, there's an alerting system because you know the intercom system was when we grew up.
Yeah, sure was.
Now every kid at lunchtime or at recess, they have a phone in their hand. So if there is you know an emergency alert or a trauma situation on campus, they can have localized versions of
Right.
this app to kind of mobilize that local community as well.
Well, he gave a beautiful example at the event about Trayvon Martin and how if he had this app, like when Zimmerman was following him or when he started feeling like something was going on, you know, if he had the app and he was able to like send that button, you know what I mean? You just never know who was around who would have felt like, oh, I need to go help this person, and maybe his life would have been spared.
But do you guys? So on the flip side of that, though, do you guys? Would there be an issue with? So say on the flip side, if George Zimmerman as a neighborhood watch person had that app, and now you've got a bunch of people targeting one person in their neighborhood. How does that? How does that happen on the other side?
Yeah,
because I mean, you could profile somebody.
Totally.
Just a bunch of people can profile one person in their neighborhood,
Yeah.
and they're all filming this one person.
And it's going back to my belief in that every human being is innately good.
Right.
And if one person wants to profile someone and 20 other people are profiling that person, then something is probably wrong with the person
Got
that
it.
profiled.
Yeah.
And you know there is that rare case, and that's the whole thing about this. You know, to whom much is given, much is required, and so there is that rare case where it could amplify it, and that's a responsibility that we're considering very carefully as we're developing certain legs of this app. You know, so right now it's only police involved because we do want law enforcement there. We do support and partner with law enforcement. So at the moment, the only things that'll be pushable on the app are traffic stops involving the police or other police encounters. And as it grows, and as the legal team grows, and as the social accountability grows, to where if we're using that same example, where 15 Zimmerman type people aren't targeting one kid, and because right now we're banking on the fact that, hey, we know when somebody's tripping,
Right.
even if we're on the same side.
Right.
The most racist person in the world. would be
Please
like,
don't
hey.
let him be black.
Yeah. So we want them gone, but we want them just go home. You don't have to. You
Tell
don't
me
have to
we're
fight it. Yeah. So
And there's also a feature on the app, you know, where once you become a verified user, you have to upload your license, and you
Yes.
know they know it's in the database. So if you do some shady stuff, if
They
you
got
on
you.
some weirdness, you will be, held accountable for that.
So when is it going to launch?
we're hoping, and I'm using this word very, very strongly. We are hoping to have this thing up by this weekend.
Oh,
Okay.
well, we got you at a good
Yes.
time.
Right.
man.
Yes. So actively, we're getting all those texts right now because people are texting the word "unite" to the number 66866.
Got it.
And so, as that database is being built, we will announce it as soon as it's ready to go. We do have a pushable sample right now, but we want to work out all the bugs, and it changes regionally because the laws change regionally, meaning that you can't just start videoing in the state of Nevada the same distance that you can in the state of California.
Right.
So we want to be compliant with all of our police agencies.
We're gonna tweet it out at BHL Polyculture after the show. I hope you guys, because I'm gonna talk real quick. Danielle, you've got a show coming up.
Yes.
Hello, she's like gonna be like BET superstar. Y'all don't even know who we got on the show right now. So John Singleton, who was a part of the panel on More Than a Hashtag, you're going to be doing this show on BET called Rebel,
Yes,
where you play a detective.
I do.
So maybe she's going to be getting those texts from Unite,
Right.
Where they're going to be texting at
Right.
66866.
Doing the
Unite.
investigating.
She's gonna be. It's gonna be. What if you did that on the
That
show?
would be
What if you plugged your app on your show?
I'm gonna try.
You know you're gonna try. Are you gonna try? So who's in the show? It's got Michael T. Williamson from
Yes.
Forrest Gump.
Yes.
Giancarlo Esposito, who I loved in Once Upon a
Amazing.
Time as the
Yeah.
Magic Mirror.
Yes.
Brandon Quinn, who I just met over the weekend.
Amazing.
And Method Man.
Method Man.
Man.
Yes.
Nothing, man.
It's a stellar cast. It's great, from the known people to the unknowns. Like, everybody's really great.
What's the show about?
So the show is about a detective who I play. Her name is Rebecca Rebel Knight, and she is a detective in Oakland, California. And I will not give away anything about the show. People have to watch it. But basically,
I was waiting. I was waiting.
you get to see, you just get to see the relationship between officers of color and the police departments that they work in, and how it's hard to be like a champion for your community, but also be attached to, the boys in blue, and then
Yeah.
she's a black female, so there's also, that element in there. But she's basically a superhero. Like, she's like amazing, she don't play, she takes names, kicks asses and takes names. And she's about justice, about doing what's right, and she'll do it by any means necessary.
Well, we got a lawyer
yeah.
on How to Get Away with Murder. We got a fixer on Scandal.
Yes.
And
have a
now we
detective.
have
Yeah.
a black
This
detective.
is literally, like, this is the year. I say this is the year of the woman, but even more so, I feel the black woman. Like, we
This
are
is the era.
really the era,
The
not
era.
the year, the era
Literally
of the
it
black
is.
woman. Like, we are getting these awesome opportunities to play strong, fully developed characters, and Rebel's very strong, but she's also very vulnerable at the same time. So it's gonna be a beautiful show about a person. You get to see, it's not a procedural show. So there are cases that she does and things like that, but you're getting to see, like, the life of someone and the things that they're battling with and going through. So, and it's done beautifully. We shot the pilot already, and John is an amazing director, Emmy and Academy Award nominated. The cast is awesome, so we're looking forward to it. It's supposed to come out in 2017.
2017.
That's right.
So yeah,
Mid-season,
be ready
hopefully.
be ready for the
So
Rebel
exciting.
Revolution.
Mid-season.
So exciting.
That is very exciting. Thank you. Of course, we're very
Congratulations on the
excited.
show.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Elayna, tell us about the General Assembly.
Well, you know what, guys? We've brought you a lot of great information today, whether it's about the app that's launching hopefully this weekend,
That's right.
or even just the facts about the candidates and the tax reform and everything like that. And the reason we were able to bring you this material for free is thanks to our sponsors. And today's sponsor is General Assembly. Looking for a career in tech, maybe business, data, design, or marketing? Trying to get that promotion or raise? To excel in your career, you need 21st century training and skills. General Assembly is the largest and most respected schools worldwide for people seeking to grow their talents and master the marketplace. Whether it's learning remotely online or in person at one of their beautiful campuses, you can join the 350,000 people who have already gotten the training needed to propel careers in tech and business. More than 2,500 companies worldwide hire GA's graduates, with 99% of graduates who participate in GA's career services is landing a new role and field within 6 months of starting their job research. Take control of your talent and career now. Find out more at ga.co/GEEK. That's ga.co/GEEK. Enter the promo code GEEK to save on your first class workshop or event. That's ga.co/GEEK, code word GEEK. Amazing.
I'm no geek. I mean, I was in school.
I was a geek,
I
a
was.
nerd, opposed to a geek, but you know.
I was like student body
popular geek.
president, and
Really?
I was like
Popular
super geek.
Yeah. I was
I was in
popular
chess club at one point.
I wanted to be a geek so bad.
I knew him in high school. He wasn't a geek.
And
Well-
as you guys notice, our other co-host B isn't here, but
sick.
she's watching from home sick, so we just want to send her our love.
Get well, B. Get well.
See you
Well,
next
girl, meet you one
So,
day. No.
Yes, on next week's show, we've got Nika Williams from Greenleaf
Yes.
on OWN. She will be
Yes.
joining us next week. Thank you guys so much.
Thank
for
you,
coming on the
guys.
show.
Thank you. Thanks
Don't
for
forget to
having us.
text Unite to 66866. You can follow me at Drexel Heard.
You can follow me at Hey It's Lay.
We're going to follow.
Follow me at Danny Truitt Can Do It on Instagram.
You can follow me at _that dude Kelvin.
Great to be back. We will see all of you guys next week.
Next week.
Bye.
Next week.
Bye.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Keven Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in.
Hollywood redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.